I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Detroit Lions. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Darnold on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Another try after the first down sack. Darnold, he's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Detroit. 57 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Darnold completes it. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. And now the offense for Detroit.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Darnold now to throw. He finds his target, Beckham. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll run with Mack. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Marlon Mack. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Set, 60 outlaw. Squeeze.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked in the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Darnold. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
And not just speed, not just their physical skills. You know what pulls it all together for this secondary? Their smarts and communication. They play really well as a unit.
They're able to locate Wilson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Throwing again is Darnold. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Keanu Neal with a safety blitz for the sack.
Yeah, that's how we do, D.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about them picking up that one? That was big for them.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and these creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The throw right sideline here is complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 17 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Hey, stand up. He's checking credit. Check 61. Matchbox light.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before.
Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
On second down, here's a run with Mack.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On first down, Darnold. It's caught by OBJ. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Darnold. It's caught. Beckham. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Darnold now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Darnold into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield.
Darnold, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Darnold. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Darnold. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
X3, 218, chop.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert. And he whips that one incomplete there. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. Looking to throw. Herbert. And that is incomplete. The rookie from Washington, Taylor Rapp, there to knock that away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead, but that was a drive that was so long it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true. Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
From the 27, Darnold.
Two sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Darnold from the gun. Darnold, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. 2nd time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And that'll make it 13-7. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. He's been really good in the yardage category, yet to hit the end zone, however.
A minor blemish against him right now because the work he's doing catching the ball, in some ways he's helping serve as good ball control because the big plays that he's making have really helped out his team.
Absolutely. They're winning on the scoreboard here in quarter number 2. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
All right, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold is going to find his running back. It's complete. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It's certain.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Tanner Rapp with a pick. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Throwing on 1st down. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Off the play fake. Herbert. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Lions will use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Hey, Haywood. Check line 54. Line 54.
From the gun, Herbert. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. So we have reached halftime, and what's due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back to throw, Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Bring it. Bring it. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. 22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers. Hit it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lindsey. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Show some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Back to throw. Herbert. He's going to fire one deep over. That's caught inside the 20. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Off play action. Herbert. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Tack McKinley. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert, that's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now it's Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He completes this one to Mack. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Now a carry for Jacobs. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Ready. Mike's 5-4. Leo. Hey. Ready.
Looking to throw. Herbert. It's caught. Smith. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll run on first down. Jacobs. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Demario Davis there on the stop. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
54, right there. 54, Mike. Let's get it together. Go.
2nd and 9 now. Completes it to Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
57 Mike. Hey, Irvin. You
On first down, Herbert. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. The Jaguars on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Herbert. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. Oh, now Lindsay lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of...
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Jacobs now. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
From the gun, Herbert, flush to his right. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. That was a safety Taylor Rapp right there on the coverage. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. If you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
And he pushed forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this, let's try to get it in the end zone?
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. To throw is Darnold. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Dexter Lawrence busting through to get him for a loss of 6. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
22 yards there, a first down. What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Come on.
Back to throw. Herbert, this one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And Lutz puts this one through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down by a field goal, 65 seconds remaining. Now they need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. He finds his target, Beckham. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. He'll look to throw. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Jags, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Detroit, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire